In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your engine oil and oil filter. Before you get started, make sure you have the proper oil and the proper oil filter. Let's start by making sure we're on a flat level surface. After that, make your way to the top of the engine. You're going to find your oil cap. Turn that counterclockwise to remove it. And then have a look at the top. That's going to tell you exactly what type of oil you should be using. Next, you want to make your way underneath the passenger side front of the vehicle. You're going to be looking for the oil pan. On that oil pan, you're going to find a 14mm drain plug. Make sure you have a collection bucket under this area so you can collect and recycle the oil that comes out of your vehicle. While we have that draining, let's continue on to the oil filter. That's going to be right up along the front corner of your oil pan. I'm going to remove this shield so the camera can get a better view. Now you have a nice clear view of the oil filter. Before you start removing it, pay attention up along the engine on the base of the oil filter. Make sure there isn't a whole bunch of debris in that area. Assuming it looks good, continue on with your oil filter wrench. We're going to take this and turn the oil filter counterclockwise to remove it from the vehicle. Keep in mind, it will still have oil in it. Once you have the oil filter off of there, the next thing you want to do is pay attention to the engine where the oil filter is supposed to mount. Make sure you wipe that area clean and give it a close inspection. Make sure it doesn't look like it's pitted or damaged in any way. Now it's going to be time to prime our oil filter. What I mean by that is take some of your brand new oil. We're going to go right in through this center hole right here until it starts coming out through the top. Then we'll take our gloved finger, take some of that clean oil, and coat our entire gasket. Let's get back over to the vehicle. Once you have that bottomed out, continue turning it 3/4 of a turn. Now let's move along to the drain plug and drain plug gasket. It's important to make sure you inspect the threads of the drain plug and make sure that you inspect or even replace that gasket. Now, assuming all that looks good, let's go ahead and wipe down the oil pan where that's going to be. Now we can put it into the oil pan by hand, bottom it out, and then we'll torque this to 30 foot-pounds. Now let's make sure we clean up our mess around the drain plug and up by the oil filter. Now let's continue on in the engine compartment. We're going to fill up the oil using 4 quarts of 5W20 oil. Remove your funnel and get ready to install your oil cap. Before you put it on the engine, have a look at the bottom side. Inspect that rubber gasket. Make sure it's still soft and pliable and it's not torn or worn in any way. Assuming it's good, let's put it on there. Make sure it's nice and tight. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and hop in the passenger compartment. Start up the car, let it run for approximately 30 seconds and turn it off. Now let's go ahead and take a peek underneath the front of the car. Make sure you don't see any oil leaks. Assuming that looks good, we'll make our way back up to the engine compartment. This area right here is your oil dipstick. Make sure you have a clean rag. We'll remove that dipstick and wipe it off as we continue. Now that I have the dipstick out of there and clean, I want to show you this area. You can tell that you have 2 little dots. You have 1 dot down near the tip. That's the low line. This one up here would be considered the full dot. Now, pretty much anywhere in between the 2 dots is good, but generally up close to that dot is exactly where you want to be. Any place past that dot means you overfilled it, in which case you'd have to remove some. Let's wipe that off and give it another dip. Now, as you can tell, the oil level on this is perfect. Let's put that oil dipstick back in, make sure it's completely secured. After that, just double check everything. We know for sure we put down the dipstick. We know for sure that we closed up the oil cap right here. It couldn't hurt to double check all the rest of your fluids. Aside from that, take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.